And now, brothers and sisters, I have the proud privilege of welcoming Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad, our Honorable Minister, the Government of India, Law and Judiciary and Electronics, the Ministry of Electronics and Technology. I must specially mention about Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad. His entire family, which hails from the beautiful state of Bihar, is a very spiritual family. And the most amazing part about his persona is that having been grounded in spirituality as a family tradition, he's had the unique privilege of being a minister with the Government of India twice. Once earlier under the leadership of Sri Vajpayee, and all of us know he was a very ardent devotee of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. And once again the privilege currently of being a very important minister with the cabinet of the current disposition in India, and once again under the leadership of Sri Narendra Modi, who also is a very ardent devotee of Bhagwan Sri Satya Sai Baba. So the significance not only lies in the leadership of the two prime ministers with whom he worked, but the fact that both the prime ministers required the support of a spiritual minister in his cabinet. And this is the greatness of Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad, a very eminent lawyer, a senior advocate of the Supreme Court of India, has been associated with many, many leading cases in the country, and especially the Ram Mandir case. And I had the privilege of meeting him in 2015. And today we are very grateful, sir, that you have conceded to our request to be here. On behalf of all of us, a very hearty welcome to Prashanthi Nilayam on behalf and especially the Central Trust of Satya Sai. I now welcome Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad to take the dais and address us.
Distinguished members of the Board of Trust, Ratnagar ji, distinguished ministers and eminent people, all the Sai Bhakts, my Adaraniya Pranam to you, Guru Purnima Shubhakamnaye to all of you. Just now you heard my very long introduction, but let me make it very clear. Here I have not come as a senior minister of Narendra Modi government. Here I have come as a simple bhakt, as a simple devotee to offer my pranam. Today I am singularly honored, uniquely privileged that I have been invited here today in this abode of Lord Sainath. I came yesterday and I wish to personally thank Ratnakar ji for having extended this invitation to me. In fact, I was looking forward to visit this great heaven and earth. I got the privilege to once have the direct darshan of Lord in Delhi, but I never got the opportunity to visit here. And what a great day to offer my Sadar Pranamam on the Guru Purnima day. My good friends Naganathan mentioned Kabir Das. There is a very famous couplet of Kabir Das. Guru Gobind dau khade kaku lagu paye. Guru Gobind dau khade kaku lagu paye. Balihari Guru Apno jo diyo Govind bataye. I must pay my regard to my Guru who leads me into the path of the Govind. And at the very outset, I would like to compliment my young friends. What a beautiful bhajan you sung. I wish I would have listened more to this beautiful bhajan. Being a lover of classical music, I have been hearing bhajans all around. But this soul-rendering bhajan really was extraordinary. And my warm compliments to all of you. How I see the work and philosophy of Lord Sainath. The first is on the spiritual and philosophical level. What is the essence of India, ladies and gentlemen? The essence of India is, as outlined in Rigveda, Ekam sadavipra bahuda vadanti. Truth is one. Wise men interpret it differently. You have your own perception of truth. I have my own. You follow your path. I will follow my own. I will respect your path. You respect my path. Because in the ultimate analysis, your path and my path merges at the same destination, wherein lies the ultimate truth. Permanent, indivisible, undividable, eternal, perennial, inspiring. What we call the Paramasatya. And you see all the utterances of Lord Sainath. Ultimately what he says, love one and all, to serve one and all. And how I see the essence of this philosophy, ladies and gentlemen, my understanding is, living body manifests itself in many ways. You can be an insect, you are a living body. You can be a fish, you can be a living body. You can be an animal, you can be a living body. But the day you are born as a human being, that is the first blessing which the God has given. You have come as a human being on this earth. Because as a human being, you have got the faculty to understand the pain and the suffering and the agony and the ecstasy of your fellow people. And the great Bhagwan has always been teaching, learn to love each other. And when you love each other, there is no boundary of caste or religion or faith, because every faith leads to the same destination. I see this creative goodness in every human being as the biggest contribution which Bhagwan Sat Sai Baba has given to all of us. And just we heard about the international work going all over. ये सारा काम क्या हो रहा है? अच्छे इंसान को बनाने की कोशिश है. अच्छे इंसान बनो. Learn to become good human being. Free from anger, free from arrogance, free from jealousy. Just keep one spirit, the spirit of love, the spirit of accommodation, the spirit of reciprocity, and the spirit of mutual respect. I think that is the biggest contribution. And if I can say, I will say with great pride, and I wish to congratulate the Board of Governors and Ratnakarji and all your team, that world over, the biggest voluntary movement of man-making is being done by the Sat Sai movement, which I wish to compliment. Ratnakarji was telling me in 170 countries you have your branches. We are in politics, in public life. Just now it was mentioned, I had the privilege to work under the feet of my Lord Atal Bihari Vajpayee, our guru, political guru, our father figure, who visited innumerable times Prashanti Nilayam. I know how much he had his devotion to the Lord here. And now I have the privilege to work under Narendra Modi, another eminent leader of mine, powerful leader seeking to change the country. We are very proud of the work. We are privileged to work under him. But we work with authority, because the people have given us the authority to work for the country as elected people, elected government. Therefore, in many ways, even though my Prime Minister says we are Pradhan Sevaks, we are also working for the people in the most informal manner. But we carry some authority which the people of the country have given to us. I use the word voluntary contribution. Without any authority, just out of love, this great organization is doing world over. And today, I would like to facilitate, because my observations are also being webcasted across the globe. I am also the IT Minister of India, and therefore it gives me singular honor to compliment the board of connecting the virtual with the real. Sitting far away in South India in Prashanti Nilayam, I am talking to you and I am talking to Sai Bhakts all across the globe. Therefore, from this abode of peace, love, I wish to compliment all the Sai Bhakt all over the globe. Keep the good work going for the sake of humanity and development. What is the second contribution of Lord Sai Bhagwan, which is important for all of us? And this needs to spread more and more. Serve the poor, serve the underprivileged. Their service is the easiest route to reach the God. गरीबों की सेवा करो, वंचितों की सेवा करो, उनकी सेवा में ही ईश्वर की प्राप्ति है. It is a great message he has been able to give. And let me quote Kabir Das again. There's a very famous couplet of Kabir Das. साईं इतना दीजिए जामे कुटुम समाए, मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं साधु न भूखा जाए. Hey Lord, give me this much that I am able to take care of my family. But if a hungry human being comes in front of my house, I should not turn him down unsatisfied. This sadhu is a symbolism. The symbolism is, don't live for yourself only. Live for others. Take care of your family, but also take care of others. And you know something very unique, why I quoted this couplet? It begins with the greatest. साईं इतना दीजिए जामे कुटुम समाए, मैं भी भूखा ना रहूं साधु न भूखा जाए. And after 400-500 years, here comes Lord Sainath, who actually concretizes this couplet into extraordinary initiative. Yesterday I was told 20 lakh operations done without a single farthing. The best of the quality education being given in this NAC certified university without a single farthing. So many schools being run. Thousands and thousands of villages in this water scarce land of Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Karnataka being provided drinking water, all by the initiative of this great institution. How do you explain it? Yesterday I was talking to a big eminent trustee of this board. I said, how do you all manage it? Now Lord is not there. And he said one comment of the Lord which made me emotional. Once they asked him, how do we run all this? Should we charge even something little, token? And Lord Sai Baba told him one thing. Does a mother charge from his child for helping him anything? You understand the philosophy of it? There is a profound philosophy behind this, ladies and gentlemen. And what is the philosophy? Love, serve the other as a mother serves the child without seeking any return. And if this has been the motto, I have not the slightest doubt that if Lord Sai Bhagwan has given so much not only in Prashanti Nilayam but the whole world, surely His divine blessings will be there, and this great work will continue to prosper to remotest part of the world and also India. To my young friends, I have to make a last observation. What is India? Is India a geographical entity? Is India a merely physical entity? Yes, we are technologically very powerful. And I want to tell you, my young friends, as an IT Minister of India, that in a population of 1.25 billion, 125 crore, India is home to 1.08 billion smart mobile phone, 108 crores, out of which 500 million, 50 crore is smartphone. We have got Aadhaar card, 115 crore, unique identity kept in safe condition. We have got 500 million, 50 crore internet. And how we are using this to leverage technology for social good? We opened 25 crore Jan Dhan account of the poor. And we linked that Jan Dhan account with Aadhaar, CD to the bank, and started serving subsidy for the poor directly to the bank account. And we saved 50,000 crores in the last 2 years, which used to be pilfered by fictitious persons. That is how we are using technology for public good. But India is certainly a place of science, innovation, technology. But remember one thing, India is the chosen earth, chosen place of divinity. That will remain the first and ultimate calling of India. And how you explain India geographically? You go to deep north in the Himalayas, you find Badrinath, where Badri Vishal, Lord Vishnu, is residing there. You go a little east there, you find Kedarnath, where Mahadev is residing there. You go deep south, on the tip of the Indian Ocean, there is Kanyakumari, the Mahadevi residing there. You go a little further in this proud land of Andhra Pradesh, you go Mahavishnu, as Long Venkateshwara is residing in the hills of Tirupati. You go deep east, you have Devi Kamakhya residing in the hills of Assam. You go deep west, east further, you have Puri, Lord Jagannath residing there. You go deep west, you have Lord Somnath in Gujarat. A little ahead, you have Lord Krishna in Dwarika. They are there for the last thousands and thousands of years. So many other faiths came. We respected all, we welcomed all. Because India is a land which has been respecting all the faiths. Come, experiment your chosen divinity through the own marga which you believe is the right path. That is the essence of India. And therefore, this cultural identity of India, merging with the spiritual identity, with the profound slogan of unity in diversity, is the essence of India. Why I am saying so? The great Lord realized that this profound land of India, with the blessings of the unity in diversity, inspired by the philosophy of Sanatan Dharma, and also respecting all the faith, must become a beacon. And what the previous speaker rightly called, that is the essence of Bharat, Bharatvarsha. That larger vision to make India truly a great country for the world, not only economically, not only educationally, not only militarily, but also spiritually. That is the calling of India. Spiritually, for the sake of service. Spiritually, to make a better human being. I think that, in my very considered view, is the real essence of Lord Sai Bhagwan. And he conveyed this in such simple language by his own conduct. Just now, my lawyer friend was explaining how, sitting with him, he experienced a lot of doubts being removed. Let me share my own experience. The moment I entered this heavenly place, the moment I bowed my head before the Lord, I'm sitting here and I don't know, I'm feeling a different energy. And mind you, when I say so, I have traveled around the world in so many countries. I have seen India from my younger days. I have studied many scriptures. But the living experience of powerful energy one experiences here while coming is truly extraordinary. That, I think, is the message. Trust in me, trust in my teaching, trust in my vision, and my hand of blessings and guidance shall always remain there. I think that is the biggest blessings on the Guru Purnima Day. And Ratnakarji, again I wish to compliment you and your team for inviting me on this very pious day of having the experience of this profound energy myself and getting the unique privilege of having the darshan of large number of devotees present here. My Vandan, Shri Vandan, Namaskaram to all of you.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm nothing but inspired to say now that, sir, Sri Ravi Shankar Prasad may be the minister of the government of India, but with this rendition of his thoughts, you are now Brother Ravi Shankar Prasad, a member of our Sai family. Welcome to the Sai world, sir.